What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this afternoon. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of what to look ahead for going into this next week's trading week. We have a really wild week ahead. We are going to be getting Powell. We are going to be getting some more economic data that is going to be moving markets, and especially the way that the market's been performing over the last couple of weeks. These are things that you really need to pay attention to and kind of are going to set the tone for the next couple of weeks going forward. Now, in addition to this, we also have to go over a little bit of the Ortex numbers going into next week's trading week for both AMC and GME. But some of the most important things that we need to go over in this update is another hedge fund has taken significant losses and is on the verge of collapse. So I want to go over that with you guys. And we have gotten some more updates on this AMC scam token. There is a lawsuit. There is Adam Aaron comments on Twitter that I want to be able to share with you guys in this update. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, with the craziness that we're seeing in the markets, if you do want to learn some pretty solid strategies in order to kind of make some additional money along with your long-term portfolio, make sure you check out the link to the Discord down below. You're going to get over 40 private live streams every single month where you're going to get access to our trading algorithm and 1348 crossover alerts on over 850 stocks in the market. So AMC closed on Friday, 15:30. We all know this by now. And just kind of a little bit of a quick technical breakdown before we get a little bit further in this video of what we need to see. We need to see a clean break of this 13 EMA over here, climbing up to this 48, hopefully get a crossover, and then some closing candles above the 200 EMA. Remember, right now, this is just my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want. It doesn't make any sense to be buying options, specifically calls on AMC. The last time that it did make sense was this little area here that we had been talking about for weeks. We saw that crossover right here, these closing candles above the 200 EMA. Oh, and then we saw a significant run up. We are waiting for that setup to kind of appear again. Now, looking ahead towards what we have going on in the market going into this next week, Wednesday is going to be an absolutely insane day. At 2 p.m., we are going to be getting the FOMC statement, and then at 2:30, we're going to be hearing from Powell. Now, right now, the consensus is that we're probably going to be seeing a 50 basis point rate hike, so 0.5%. Now, the market in general has kind of been bracing for a lot of uncertainty and the potential for a recession coming up after those GDP numbers came out at minus 1.4%. Powell is going to, if he needs to kind of calm down the market, and that's something that he sees as a priority, he needs to come out and essentially say, yep, we are on the right track. Everything is okay. But again, nobody's really going to believe what Powell has to say anyway. Just over the last year and a half, the amount of statements that he's made that they've had to walk back, specifically in transitory inflation, the amount of investor confidence and overall confidence in the Fed right now is very, very low. But another thing you guys want to pay attention to, we're going to be live streaming this, is going to be that balance sheet runoff. That is going to be something that a lot of people are very uncertain about because that is going to be starting in May. Now, in addition to this, these Ortex numbers for on AMC right here, we have 18.96% estimated short interest here. We have a net borrow on Friday of 988,000 shares, 1.91% average cost to borrow, 2.73% max. And looking at these days to cover right here, the average time that a share of AMC has been out on loan has been 100 days. What this mainly tells us right here is that the shorts are not covering their positions right now. They are still out there trying to push the price of this down. Now, when we come over to GameStop, they've got about 20.09% estimated short interest, 6.72% average cost to borrow, and 9.87% max. So those are the Ortex numbers, the short interest numbers that we are seeing. Now let's get into this hedge fund that has almost collapsed. They are on the verge of really taking even more significant losses, but let's just see what's going on here. So we can see $2 billion hedge fund loses nearly half after Carvana plummets 75% in 2022. For a vivid example of a hedge fund that prospered and grew, expanding relentlessly with the blessings of the Fed's ZIRP and QE, quantitative easing, but now that QE is on indefinite hiatus and the Fed's put is gone, and successful investing actually requires more skill than just putting cash into high beta names and praying that the Fed will keep burring. They are imploding. Look no further than CAS Investment Partners, a Westport-based hedge fund which had grown more than 1,000% since inception in October of 2012, yet which has lost nearly half of all of its assets in just the past 4 months, thanks to heavily concentrated portfolio of stocks, but mostly novelty used car dealer Carvana. Now, a lot of these funds are going to be taking these significant losses. Now, this may not have a direct relationship to AMC and GME, but it goes to show you kind of the overall state of the market and these funds. They are not performing very well. Now, if these other institutions out there that are having very similar problems that CAS is having right now, well, maybe they're over leveraged on a short and their overall investment of portfolio is heading down and they're on the verge of closing. Again, the only time that they would really need to cover their shorts in a time of either market downturn or if their long positions are really, really coming down is if they completely blow up their fund in a way that they have to close their entire operation. The other thing that I want you guys to think about as well is that a lot of these funds are using a pretty significant amount of leverage, meaning they're taking out loans in order to essentially enter these positions and kind of try to basically generate more returns than they otherwise would have if they were just using their own capital. Remember, in that margin debt chart that we were looking at, the overall margin debt is coming down, which is going to signal a widespread deleveraging, meaning selling off of assets, or a very high amount of margin calls that is leading to people liquidating their portfolios. The second thing is, remember those DTCC collateral haircuts that we have coming up on Monday. Those are going to be having an effect. If you are putting up collateral and you are using a specific security and that security is no longer going to qualify as collateral, well, you have now a worthless asset on your balance sheet that you can no longer use. Essentially, it's worthless to you. You can no longer use to post that as collateral. So there are things moving right now. Let's see where these go. But this is not going to be the first fund that is really going to be having issues in 2022. We've already seen Melvin. We have CAS right here. There's going to be more. Now, in addition to this, I want to kind of talk about this AMC scam token situation. So this lawsuit over here is basically revolving around intellectual property. So the domain names that they're kind of going after are the AMCtoken.com, the AMCtoken.net, and the AMCtoken.org. The complainant is American Multi-Cinema, or our beloved AMC Theaters. So this token came out. The one problem, there were a lot of problems, but one of the biggest problems that I saw with this is that Yahoo Finance came out and was essentially saying good things about this token. It's perfectly fine to kind of spread the news with some caution and be like, well, what is going on here? But the fact that Yahoo Finance came out, it was like, this is something that you need to consider as an investment. They should be getting sued as well. Now, in addition to this, we also have some comments from Adam Aaron over here. The AMC token, after vigorous protests, the Apes Movement Community token is a total sham. AMC Entertainment has nothing to do with this blatant violation of our registered trademark. That's why it's an intellectual property case, and attempted theft of our name/reputation. We are fighting them hard. Don't be fooled. So these individuals, they tried to see an opportunity to kind of come in and basically take advantage of the ape community. But the apes are too smart for that at this point. We're not going to fall for some stupid scam coin that some people are just trying to kind of generate some income from. So in addition to this, the options data going into next week, let's take a look at what we have going on AMC's option chain just to kind of see if there's anything crazy. On the put side, we have a decent amount of open interest at 14 right here, about 10,000 contracts. The volume was, it was all right on Friday. And then coming over to the call side, again, we are seeing a decent amount of contracts in this $16 to $18 range. But again, it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense to be playing options on AMC at the current time, unless you're trying to scalp it or day trade it, which is not something that I am trying to do right now. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.